Let's talk about stress and the hiring process. According to a recent poll I sent out, the number one stressor for hiring managers is time spent interviewing candidates, which is understandable because it is a lot of time invested when you add up the hours, reviewing resumes, talking with your recruiter, back and forth emails, actually doing the interviews, talking with your leadership team. It's a lot of time taken away from your primary leadership duties. But what can you do about that when you do have to spend time interviewing candidates? You can focus on what you can control, the process and communication. First, it's important to make sure that you have a solid process in place, maybe 5, maybe 4, at least 4 steps depending on your organization. It could be a lot more steps than that. And you can combine steps, you can move around steps depending on who's available to keep the process moving and get to the finish line faster. And when you keep the momentum in the interview process, the more likely you're going to be to keep your quality candidates engaged. And then now let's talk about communication. This is where taking time ends up creating time, and actually with process too. Because let's say, for example, you don't complete all of the steps and the process is not a very good one, and therefore you end up making a bad choice, a bad hire, and then you're having to start the process over again. Or you don't do the best job throughout your process, and for whatever reason, your final candidate that you extend an offer to doesn't accept the offer. Well, then you've stopped interviewing other candidates and you've created a start and stop interview process. You have to start the process over again. So by ensuring that you do go through all of the steps and that you first have a good process with your ideal interview steps in place, you're going to later save time. So remember, taking time in the interview process is going to later save you time. Now, how can taking time save you time when it comes to communication? And who should you be communicating with during the interview process? First, your recruiter at the start of and throughout the process. This is very important to keep your recruiter actively engaged, and this way they can inform candidates on where they stand. If you're communicating with your recruiter throughout the process, then you're able to give them feedback, positive, negative, concerns, what you do like in candidates, what's not working in candidates. And this way your recruiter can take that task off of your plate of following back up with a candidate. They can do that for you, and that's going to save you time. And the more time you take, actually doesn't have to take a lot of time, but you do want to take a little bit of time to share with your recruiter exactly what you want and why, and key details about the role that are going to matter to the candidate. Then this is going to later save you time because you can share that story just once with your recruiter, and then they can do that with each prospective candidate. And also, the more feedback your recruiter gets from you, the more motivated and engaged they're going to be to keep working harder for you, and the better they can focus their search to bring you more of the right candidates. And you also want to keep communication with your leadership team. And you can share with your leadership team who's also participating in the interview process your red flags, your candidate concerns, and different personalities are going to pick up on different things. And by keeping this communication, it could be a quick text, could be a 3-minute phone chat, it could be a quick email. The other members of your leadership team who are also participating in the interview process can hone in on these areas, and then you can debrief, and this communication can help you to elevate your confidence in your hire, and it can also let you know when to pass on a candidate and save more of that time. So remember, taking time creates time in what can be a stressful hiring process, but you can make it less stressful by saving time and not taking as much time interviewing candidates when you have strong communication and a strong process. Hope that helps. If you got some value from the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.